broadcasting live from an undisclosed location. This is the Community MMA with your host, Chris Cross.
Yes! Yes! Whoa! and new. Yes! Yes! What up? This your boy Chris Cross checking in. This is the Community MMA, aka the TCMMA podcast. And guess what? It's an exciting day. We got a lot to talk about in terms of the UFC, but I gotta address the elephant in the room first. Miami Dolphins versus Dallas Cowboys tonight. And I know this is an MMA channel, but guess what? The Dolphins are my team. We only play the Cowboys once every 4 years, and we're likely not to both be 10-4 going into the game. So it's a big deal. It is a big deal. I'm highly looking forward to this matchup. Hopefully Tyreek Hill plays, and we can get off on the Cowboys tonight. And it's an interesting game, because the word on the street is the Dolphins can't beat a big team, so they're going to be fired up for this matchup. The word on the street is the Cowboys can't win on the road, so they're going to be fired up for this matchup. So you got two titans of the NFL getting ready to lock horns tonight on Christmas Eve, and it doesn't get any better than that. And I fully expect the Dolphins to go out there and put on a show. I mean, they better back me up, man, because I'm talking trash, just like any UFC fight. Now, we lost Colby Covington, right? Talked a lot of trash going into that one, and we fell. So we need this. We need the Dolphins to pull it out tonight. And I'm not going to get too deep into this because we got to get into some UFC stuff, like Conor McGregor going on a rant. We're going to go division by division on the men's side and look at the 5 new UFC champions this year and discuss whether or not the 3 champions that made it all the way through 2023 can do it again in 2024. So we're going division by division, all 8 men's divisions. So let's get into it right now. First, Conor McGregor went on a rant yesterday. He was at the Wilder fight. Wilder lost the fight. So he's already not happy about that. And of course he's feeling good. So he begins to talk to the media. He says, no one in the history of the fight games ever been treated the way I'm getting treated at this minute, yeah? Though what I came through to what I bring. They should open the floodgates for me, yeah? And I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. My patience is wearing thin on me waiting. And, the thing with this is I understand McGregor, because when you watch the documentary on Netflix, it does show him beating, what's his name? Donald the Cowboy Cerrone, right? In that big return after, going into boxing and having a layoff, and he comes in and he beats Cerrone in 40 seconds and he's ready to fight. And then the UFC puts him on ice forever. And then other things kept him on ice, and he's not fighting the way he believes he should be fighting. And that's a lot and often, right? He wants to fight all the time. But he can't fight all the time because the UFC is always waiting for the perfect scenario, right? The UFC isn't viewing McGregor as a future champion again. They're viewing McGregor as a moneymaker. So they're not trying to set up fights in quick succession. They're waiting for the perfect opportunity when they have no one else on the card, like maybe UFC 300, where they can put him up there and everyone's tuning in. This guy has 8 of the top 10 UFC pay-per-views of all time. It might even be 9, but it's up there. It's anywhere between 7 and 9 of the top 10 belong to McGregor. So it's not about a title for the UFC. It's about making money. And McGregor's tired of it. He just wants to fight. And we have to recognize this. A lot of times when we say, hey, these fighters don't want to fight, we really don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, we really have no idea. The UFC could be in the wrong. McGregor could be in the wrong. You just never know what to believe in these situations. But I do believe McGregor wants to fight. And I do believe he thinks in his head he could still be a champion again. That's what he believes. He thinks he could be the champion once again. So let McGregor fight. Let this man eat. And all is good if you do that. Now, we want to spend some time today going division by division here on the men's side and look at the new champions as opposed to the 3 champions that maintained their belt all through 2023? Can they do it again? But let's begin with the flyweight division, work our way up to the heavyweight. In the flyweight division, Alexander Pantoja stole the belt this year. Stole the belt from Brandon Moreno. And let's look back at that before we talk more about this division. Brandon Moreno and Alexander Pantoja put on one of the best fights that you'll ever see. A 5-round battle, high-paced, high-activity fight at the highest level. And this thing is going to a decision, and likely Pantoja is going to pull this thing off. And it's unbelievable that neither guy got finished in this fight. I mean, from round 1, it was just high pace. It just continued for 25 straight minutes. There was never a break in the action other than some takedowns, but a high-level fight. When you get into the numbers, which won't really matter much because it'll just come down to the rounds, but it was 117 to 101 Moreno in significant strikes, 140 to 132 total for Moreno. Head strikes, 108 to 85. But the problem for Moreno is he gave up 6 takedowns in 8 minutes and 30 seconds of control while just landing 2 takedowns with 4 minutes and a second of control. So those takedowns for Pantoja are going to loom large because in the rounds that he had a lot of the control time, the round was very close. And the judges are likely going to give those rounds, which will be rounds 3 and 4 is what it comes down to. Really, round 4 will decide this fight. And the takedown game and control time should be enough to get Pantoja over the top. So the way this thing broke down, round 1, Pantoja. Round 2, Moreno. Those are the only 2 that we really know. The other 3 are kind of toss-ups, but you would lean towards Pantoja. Here we go. Oh my goodness. $49-46 Moreno. Split. 48-47 Pantoja. Oh my gosh. 48-47. Unbelievable. And wow. And Alexander Pantoja crumples to the ground. And he has finally done it. He is a world champion. You got Alexander Pantoja winning the belt over Moreno this past year with no fights left. That's the way it turns out. Amir Albazi in the mix at number 2. Brandon Royval just fell to Pantoja. Kai Kara France and Matthias Nicolau on the brink trying to do something. So that's the way the flyweight division turns out this year. Now, as we march ahead into the bantamweight division, you got Sean O'Malley at the top. Sean O'Malley at the top. And he's getting ready to fight Marlon Vera because Marlon Vera beat him before, and that's his only loss. So Marlon Vera gets a pass right to the top of the division. Make no mistake about it. But this is what it sounded like when O'Malley won the belt. Things are going to get interesting here. Things are going to get real interesting. See if O'Malley can push off. He does. Takes a left and a right, though. Boy, O'Malley's quick, man. He is quick. Gets out of it. Oh! Big right drop, Sterling. Oh, my God. And Aljo's covering up. Look at O'Malley. He could win a title right here. Aljo's in trouble. This is it. Oh, my God. O'Malley's going to win the belt. O'Malley's going to win the belt. O'Malley wins the belt. Dang. Wow. Wow. Sean O'Malley just shocked Aljamain Sterling. And the people in Boston are going crazy, bro. Look at this dude took his shirt off. The whole night, you got decisions, it seems like. And right when it's most important. And I think O'Malley's drinking something. Yeah, so O'Malley stole the belt in 2023. Sterling's still number 1, but he's going up to featherweight. Dvalishvili, Cejudo, Sandhagen Petr Yan all round out the top 5. Now, as we move forward, featherweight, Volkanovski held it for the entire year, fighting both in the featherweight and in the lightweight divisions. Holloway still 1, Rodriguez 2, Ortega 3, and you got to go all the way down to number 5, Topuria. That's who's fighting Volkanovski next. Can he get the job done? That'll be the big question. If he does, he'll probably finish the year with the belt. Lightweight, same thing, Makhachev reigns supreme at the top. He's got a big matchup with Oliveira coming up eventually. And then you got the old heads. How long can they hang on? Gaethje and Poirier. With Sarukian knocking on the door, Michael Chandler, an old head too, still there. Hopefully he's fighting McGregor at 300. We'll see. So a lot can happen in this division. Welterweight, Leon Edwards keeps the belt, right? Beats Colby Covington. Beats Usman. 2 of the best in the division over the last several years. To me, he's the fighter of the year. I don't care what anyone says. But yeah, so those 3 divisions, you got champions that maintain the belt throughout the whole year. Now in the middleweight, Sean Strickland stole the belt from Adesanya. Check this out. Sean Strickland is walking around the octagon like this thing is already a victory, man. And what a performance by Sean Strickland. I mean, to me, he dominated this fight. 111 to 97 in significant strikes. Head strikes 77 to 24. I mean, that's the fight right there. Body shots 29-28. Izzy had a lot of leg strikes to keep it close, but that doesn't work in the judges' scorecards. 45-5 for Izzy, but they weren't really big. I mean, Sean Strickland dropped him in round 1. Ended up leading round by round, probably except round 2. It's going to be 49-46 in my opinion. In the last 20 seconds, Sean Strickland just talking crap. And we just witnessed the biggest upset in championship history. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And both guys standing in the center of the octagon. And we're about to hear and new in a second. Wow. Adesanya knows he lost. Oh my gosh. It's unanimous. 49-46. Woo! Unbelievable. And new! Let's go! Yeah, man. Great fight there. Great fight to see Sean Strickland win it. Another American at the top. We got 3 in the top 8. It could have been 5 if Colby and Royval would have won. But that didn't happen. So we got 3. But a lot still to be played out in the middleweight division this year. It's going to be a big year for the middleweight division. This belt could change hands 2 or 3 times with Duplessis and Strickland up first in January. Light heavyweight division, Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira. One of the fighters of the year, in my opinion, too. Not the fighter of the year. That belongs to Leon Edwards, but Pereira definitely up there. This is how he won the belt. Yuri's starting to switch stances once again. And he lands a leg kick on Pereira. Pereira lands one back right away. It's like a chess match. Oh, big right by Yuri. Here he comes. Pereira's backing off. Oh! Yuri takes a left. Oh, no. Come on, Yuri. Oh, Yuri's in trouble. And that's it. They give it to Alex Pereira. I don't know that the fight should have been stopped. And Yuri doesn't look happy about it, but he's not arguing too much. And Pereira's on top of the coach's shoulders. He is the new light heavyweight champion. 2 belts. And that happened fast. I mean, like Pereira does in the past. He started landing some elbows with Yuri's head down. And eventually Yuri drops to a knee and the ref says that's it. And it's like, dude, come on. I mean, I got to see the replay. Yeah, and when you look at the replay, I mean, it's probably a good stoppage, right? And Yuri said, it is what it is. He didn't really argue it. Very professional. I like it. So Pereira wins the belt, and that's the way the light heavyweight division turned out. And then we had the heavyweight division. We expected to see John Jones versus Stipe at the end of the year. It didn't happen. So John Jones finishes the year out as the heavyweight champion, and this is how he won the belt. All right, so both fighters meet in the center of the octagon. John Jones versus Cyril Gane for the heavyweight title, the vacant heavyweight title, vacated by Francis Ngannou. these two guys will fight for. Remember Cyril Gane lost to Francis Ngannou in a long 5-round decision, and he gets a second opportunity. John Jones, we haven't seen this guy in 3 years. And he looks like he spent all 3 of those years just putting on some size and strength. I mean, he looks like a heavyweight. Much heavier than we've ever seen him, obviously. And here we go. Both fighters touch gloves, and John Jones goes right to the leg kick. And he takes a low kick already. Man, 9 seconds in, John Jones takes a low kick. Let's see the replay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely was low. All right, let's go. Let's go. USA. Come on, John. It's been too good of a night for you to lose. Come on. John Jones can keep this weight over the course of 2, 3, 4 rounds. Oh, and John Jones goes right in. Oh, and he takes Cyril Gane down. Look at this. Boy, he's pounding away with the right. And he's going up the back quick. I mean, this is crazy. He's moving like a light heavyweight in terms of the position. Ooh. John Jones with the guillotine. But I don't think it's underneath. Let's go, John. Trying to get underneath once again. He tapped. It's over. Let's go. Let's go. And new. Let's go. And new. Yes. Dude, this guy's the best in the world, man. Wow. Woo. Let's go. Yeah, so John Jones finishes the year as the heavyweight champion. So you got 5 new champions, and you got 3 in the middle, featherweight, lightweight, and welterweight, who all maintain their title throughout the year. So 5 new champions, 3 reign supreme throughout the year. And that's the way it turned out. Now, as we jump into the Q&A, first it's on Colby Covington. Andrew Smith says, what do you think about Colby breaking his foot 30 seconds into the fight? Also, he was staying only 15 minutes away from the U.S. Olympic Medal Center in Colorado before the fight, which probably suggests that he was injured going into the fight. I feel kind of bad now for jumping on him. Yeah, and we don't know. We're going to have to wait for the x-rays and all that and see what happened, but certainly was a disappointing performance, and sometimes that is the case. And if that's the case going into the fight, that's very heroic for Colby. Most fighters will pull out, but he knows he couldn't do that. Now, Goodwill Hunt on Hamza says, give him Izzy, then a title shot. Yeah, and I agree. It's just tough because Hamza was promised a title fight already. And guys, remember that stuff. Troy says talks and doesn't fight. He will get smashed. Yeah, we'll see. We will see, baby. More on Colby. I think to some extent Colby had been overrated due to managing to not be overtly dominated against Usman, then the best pound for pound in the world, twice. The last few years, inactive or mainly beating mediocre or decrepit fighters. And I honestly still think that Colby in his prime is no worse than Edwards in his prime. Yeah, so I mean, a little back and forth there by Tyrion. And, you know, with the injury, it's going to just be interesting to see if Colby gets another shot. He's going to have to beat a top-notch contender, and probably two of them, to really prove himself. So Colby, with his back against the wall now and at 36 years old, how much more does he have left? He might not get a title fight until he's 38. That's a problem. And Jude Sue says, it's wild. You can still put a video together despite recording deep in the tundra. Yeah, it's cold out here, man. It's cold. Hamza stinks. He's going to blow it, more or less is what he's saying. I think a fight with Cannonier makes sense. Let the winner fight for the belt. Yeah, so either Cannonier or Adesanya. And to me, Adesanya is a likely opponent because if you beat Hamza, you definitely get another title fight. But that's a risk for Adesanya, for sure. Izzy on Bo Nickel. Can't be champ if UFC keeps feeding him bums. And, you know, they're trying to bring this guy. The guy's only got 5 fights. So he shouldn't be fighting for a title for the next 3 years. He should get a few bums and then a few better fighters and then a top 5 eventually. On Paddy Pimblett, Dylan Bowden says he looked okay. And it's a tough fight to take for Paddy because even if you win, everyone's going to say that Tony Ferguson is washed up and this, that, and the other thing. So it's a no-win situation for him. But it does add to his resume and saying that, you know, look, I beat Tony Ferguson. That's the bottom line. Is it's all about the resume, right? And you got to look good on the resume. You got to have some fights on there that people say, wow, you know, he beat Tony Ferguson. Even though Tony Ferguson's washed up, it's still a big name. Make no mistake about it. So as we roll into 2024, what belts will change hands? That's going to be the big question. The big 3 that didn't change hands could very likely remain the same. The flyweight will be interesting. Featherweight will be interesting with Topuria getting a chance. Can O'Malley beat Vera in the bantamweight division? And if he does, what's next? You got Dvalishvili waiting in the wings. How will Aljamain Sterling look in the featherweight division when he makes his debut? Can Tom Aspinall beat John Jones? Are they still going to let John Jones fight Stipe? That's what I want to know. That will be a shame. But all these questions will be answered. The light heavyweight division is going to be up for grabs. I think Pereira is going to have some tough competition coming his way via Jamal Hill, via Alexander Rakic, who's coming back. You know, there's a lot of guys that can do some things. So a lot of questions to be answered in 2024. And we'll be here every step of the way. For now, it's your boy Chris Cross. Hope you have a great day. And God bless. As always, peace.